brighter than light. He'll give you strife. He's Todd. He's tall, he's mean. He's labeling machine. He's Todd. Rides a motorbike. He'll tell you what it's like. He's Todd. Don't know what he'll say. He'll scare the kids away. He's Todd. He's Todd.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Good morning. I appreciate everybody showing up for episode 21 of BS with Todd. And obviously, usually in any other situation, BS means something else, but this is Brother Solutions with Todd, where we talk about nothing but labeling. It's my favorite subject. So I want to thank Dan Cobb for that intro. That tune has gone number one now on Brother Mobile Solutions. So www.brothermobilesolutions.com, click on the BS with Todd link, and you can listen to Dan all damn day long like I do. Just kidding, boss. Anyway, couple of things. Number one, I always show this at the beginning of the show. This has been in here a long time, all right? And what we have is we got a flag, we got a cable wrap immersed in a vial of water. Now, I did have one with oil. I inadvertently dropped that, and there's a couple of oil stains now to add to the others on my garage floor. So anyway, welcome to my garage. Couple of big things in the Hot Toddy household. Number one, I received my first shipment of the Jelly of the Month Club, so thank you very much. Number two, I got a bidet. I know, right? Right? It's crazy good. If you've never tried one, and I'm not, no brand specific, but I'm telling you, I'm in heaven. Sometimes it's the little things in life. So anyway, a couple of big happenings here. So again, thank you for joining. I hope everybody is well and surviving all this crazy stuff out there. So what we're going to talk about today is the PT-E550. The PT-E550 is our number one selling handheld printer for a plethora of reasons. But I do get a lot of calls on, hey, how do you set this up? Hey, how does the battery go in? Yeah, no kidding. All right. How does the tape go in? How do I close the back of this thing? How do I enable the Wi-Fi? What's the password for the Wi-Fi? So forth and whatnot. So what I'm going to show you today is when you get your PT-E550 for the first time, unboxing this bad boy. And I'll go through everything on the initial setup. And if we have time, I'll take a look at the clock. We'll go through some of the features on there. But anyway, the PT-E550 is available through our authorized distribution partners. If you have any questions on this after the show, certainly reach out, and I'll be more than happy to answer some of the operational features on this thing. But anyway, the PT-E550, I'm going to change cameras. You're probably going to see what I look like behind the scenes. I don't think I've really stood up in front of the camera, and trust me, there is a reason for that. But anyway, I'm going to switch cameras here, and we'll see if this works. It worked during some of the tests. Oh, by the way, high tech. Now I used and I do have a new mobile GoPro that we used last week, and I know it was kind of shaky, and I'm kind of working those things out. And I tried using the little vest thing that you put on, and yeah, it's going to be better this high tech way right here. So you can see my other camera, which is I hope secured up there. And I hope this looks well. It did look well during when I was doing it. And if it doesn't, it is what it is. So here we go. I'm going to switch cameras, and then I'm going to show you how to put this thing together here. Let's go with my USB camera. Hopefully that switches. Here I am. Oh, shoot, I forgot the other half of my pants. So, pardon me on that. Hey, this is California. I'm a surfer boy. All right. Well, I used to be. They don't make surfboards big enough for that anymore. So anyway, unboxing the PT-E550. Is everybody ready? Here we go. All right. So inside, what you're going to find obviously is the printer. All right. You are going to find your adapter. All right. So again, keep that handy. Try not to lose it. Now, if you do lose it, we have others available. We have a tape that we include here, all right? This is our TZE-FX231, all right? It is our flexible ID tape. It is a 1/2 inch. So anyway, you got the tape inside there as well. Your lithium-ion battery, all right? Now, this unit will go both ways. I got to be careful where I say that, but this unit goes both ways in the fact that you can use this lithium-ion battery, or if you forget to charge it up, you can use 6 AA's as well, all right? If you are in a closet environment, again, and the closet is hot, you can plug directly in and you bypass everything. So there's our lithium-ion battery, all right? Here we have our USB cable. Now, the USB cable, you're going to need this USB cable. Number one, when you download the software initially, you have to have the printer connected to your PC to download the drivers. And if you want to dump a database manually into the PT-E550 from the P-Touch Editor software, you're going to have this available. So keep this handy as well. This serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever. All right. So we'll just go ahead and get rid of that. Inside here, this is very important. Now, I don't know if I brought a knife, but we'll just go ahead and well, I guess I don't need a knife, all right? So we have our software. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can download the software. Number one, a lot of these PCs don't have drives in them anymore. So you can download those off of brothermobilesolutions.com under the support section. You have to pick your OS on your PC, right? But you have the drivers available. You have the P-Touch Editor available. And then there is a firmware update to utilize our new tapes that we just came out with. All right, so we have some new laminated tapes that can go inside the machine on a cassette. You do have to have the firmware updated, right? So there's your software. Here's your, I don't even know what that is. Here's there's some of that. Here's the directions. I'm not one of these guys that pulls over and asks for directions. I'm more of a visual guy, all right? There are lots of videos available. If you need those videos on how to operate this machine, I can send you the link. But again, there is your instruction manual. What I was getting to at the end of the day, let me tidy up my mess. There also is a lanyard as well. I've never used it, but it's there, all right? So anyway, the most important part as far as I'm concerned is this right here. All right. And we went into this, I believe it was last episode when I was showing everybody how to label patch panels and faceplates. This is your patch panel ruler. Okay. The patch panel ruler is going to measure your port spacing within 1/100th of an inch. That's probably pretty tough to see right now. All right. Because there is some plastic film. On the top portion of this is where you measure your patch panels. On the bottom portion is where you measure your face plates, because what you want to do is take the settings that you get here and you want to put them inside the machine. So that way you're spot on as far as your port spacing, and you're not having to trim the faceplate labels down here because you're printing to length. And that's one of the biggest problems I had with myself and my guys out in the field when I was a contractor is, at the end of the night, every faceplate had a little bit of label left over. And that's because what they're doing is they're printing off a label, they're cutting the ends off to fit inside that little desi strip. And at the end of the night, that goes into the vacuum. And as far as I'm concerned, that's cash in the trash. So to me, this is very important to save money, to save time. So that way the snips aren't going in and out of the pockets. You're not leaving the little pieces of label all over the place. A lot of people, when they get their PT-E550, initially take that bag and they'll just throw it aside. Don't throw it aside. If all else fails, you may need a couple of these things, but if all else fails, get the patch panel ruler. If you need extra patch panel rulers, please reach out. Also on the back, and again, very tough for you guys to see. but there is some explanation as to what tape to use for the particular job that you're doing. Excuse me. There's our part numbers back there. Onto the actual unit itself. All right. There is a little piece of plastic on the front of it here that you remove. Here's some very important steps here. All right. What do I do with that battery? First step is how you open this. I don't know how many times I'll see people trying to pry this open and it's not working and potentially you can break it. The little black tab at the top here, press down, pull out, just like that. What you'll see inside here is room for your battery, your lithium-ion battery, or your 6 AA's. This little doohickey, I like that. So this little thing right here is very important. It's natural when you see this thing sticking out here, you want to press it down, all right? What that is, it's the locking mechanism for the motor inside the unit right here. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but when I press that down, the motor engages. Now, when that happens, you cannot get the back on, period. And I don't know how many times I've seen somebody put the little arm down and they'll put this in here and they'll slam it and they'll break it. So make sure this tab is up. And then what happens is, goes on nice and easy. So again, to remove the back, press down on the button, pull out. Installation of the tape itself. Oh, I think they went another tooth. So the tape itself, the way it inserts into the mechanism is like this, in this position. All right, so what you want to do is you want to insert it. There's your spindle. There's that green spindle right there. Sometimes the spindles are black, all right? But what you want to do is just insert like so. Give it a little tap. The battery itself, the lithium-ion battery. If you look here, you can see the 3 little contacts. So on the lithium-ion battery, there's 3 contacts right here. You want to take that, insert it, away you go. Now, I don't know how much power this battery has inside the unit, but we're going to give it a go. Anyway, back on. Unit on. All right, so now we're going. I don't have much battery life. If I do run out of battery life, I'm going to grab my PT-E550 off the shelf up there. As far as setting up the Wi-Fi, and I do not know how this is going to look back there, but as far as setting up the Wi-Fi, what you want to do is you want to go in the menu. All right. Gosh, that's tough to see, isn't it? That's crazy. I should have done my GoPro. All right. But you can always watch these videos after. All right. Maybe I should have turned the backlight off, huh? What do you think? Anyway, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go up to WLAN, W-L-A-N. All right. And actually, let's try and turn that backlight off. Backlight. We're going to turn off. All right. So, thank you, Kate. Kate mentioned that the backlight off is much better. All right, that's not bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into menu. All right, we're going to go to WLAN, which is, see, with the backlight off, I can't see anything, but I know it's all about me. Go into the WLAN, highlight the WLAN, hit enter. When you're in enter, what you want to do is you want to go in the network mode. You want to go into direct mode, which is right there. You want to hit the OK button. When you go into the direct mode, what you're going to see is you're going to see the icon starting in the bottom right-hand corner. All right, so it's blinking right now. To set this up on your smart device, all right, what you want to do is go back in the menu, go into WLAN, go into network settings. When you go into direct mode, it's got your PT-E550W. You can rename this anything you want. If you hit the backspace, you can rename it. So this is your SSID. when you're going to find it on your phone, that's what you're going to look for right there. And it's automatically set to default at the PT-E550W 6480. But again, you can change that to whatever SSID you want. Once I hit the OK button, if you notice, there's 8 zeros there. All right. That's your web key. You need 8 to get into the phone. By default, they're all zeros. If you want to change this to whatever you want, again, just make sure that it is in 8. Did that make any sense? Huh? I don't know if that made sense or not. Anyway, so once I hit the OK button, all right, you're basically, and I'm going to hit OK, it goes back into the blank screen. That is what the whole setup is for your Wi-Fi. That's it. That's all there is to it. You can customize that. All right. So now that I've got that on, what I want to do is I want to go into my phone and I want to set this up into my phone. So I'm going to change cameras here again. And after I tidy up a little bit. All right. So let's get rid of this. All right. I'm going to change my cameras back onto my favorite subject. All right. Which is me. Don't let my wife hear me say that. So anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to share a screen. I'm going to go into my phone right now. I want to show you how this thing, basically, you get it set up inside your phone. All right. So I'm going to share a screen with you real quick. All right, I'm going to share that. Let's see if it works. Now, I have no idea why the hell it's coming up in black and white, but hopefully y'all can see this out here. So the first thing you want to do on your phone is you want to go to your settings. All right, when you go to your settings, you're going to go to your Wi-Fi. All right. If you see right here, it's already picked up my direct BR PT-E550 yada yada. All right, it's going to ask for that password, 8 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to hit the join button. Now, keep in mind the Wi-Fi unable to join network. Nice. Let's try this again, folks. Direct CV, live TV. Oh, you know what did I do? Let's try this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's join. Looks like it's going. Okay. So as you can see, hold on a second. Am I still sharing? No, I'm not. Santa Maria. And you know why? You know why? Because I didn't think about this, and my phone needs to be connected to the network. All right. So idiot move on my part. All right. I'm going to go back in and I'm just going to select my network. Son of a biscuit. Hey, that's a bunch of BS right there. So anyway, this phone sharing thing that I have, it has to be connected to the network, and it's not going to work that way. So I guess I need another network, boss. 2 networks here. The way it's going to work, and I'll try and share this again with you real quick, is let me stop sharing, and I'm going to go back in here, and we'll share a screen, and nothing. Let me share this with you, folks. Be patient with me. Stand by, please. All right. Let's go back into screen mirroring. So while I'm doing this, all right, I'm looking for suggestions also. Next week, in fact, I got Mr. Blake Ramos out there right now. All right. He's with Low Volt Nation. Love that show. All right. Blake is going to be with me next week, and we're going to have not table talk, but label talk. That one's mine. That's mine. All right. And so stay tuned for that. One of the things I'm going to try and start doing on this podcast is having special guests on board, whether it be, some real cool data dudes, some of our distribution partners out there. I want everyone to see from a contractor side, instead of just listening to me spew all this BS, I want to have you guys hear it from a contractor. All right. And so if you have any suggestions or anybody out there wants to hop on board for one of these episodes, come on board. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you again. And this time it is working. I'm going to show you a couple of the different apps that we have available. So let me do this. I do apologize about the technical difficulties, but stuff happens. BS happens. All right. So let me share this. And let's see. All right. So here we go. There's a couple of different apps you use. And again, this is going to connect to the actual, you cannot be connected to a Wi-Fi, obviously, and connect to this print. This is a peer-to-peer Wi-Fi. So it's either one or the other. So keep in mind is that you don't have to be near any Wi-Fi. It's just talking to the machine. We thought about Bluetooth, but Bluetooth is kind of unstable, as we all know. One of the apps that you can use on here is this guy right here. This will connect to the machine, and once that does, and I've showed this app before, but you can do a lot of the stuff that you can on the machine right here, whether it be face plates, cable wraps, cable flags, patch panels. If you're on the electrical side of the fence, there is circuit breakers on here. All right. All different types. There's commercial, there's residential on here. So again, this is one of the apps that will work with the machine, and you can just label or to basically do the work right on the app and then print to the machine itself. The other app, and by the way, there's tons of different types of templates on here. So all these different caution signs that you're seeing, and they can all be edited as well. So if I want to bring up main switch, and let's say that BS. Well, there you go. Simple as that. You hit the print button and you're done. So that is our Brother mobile cable label tool. The other one that you can set up is this iPrint and Label. iPrint and Label, you can do custom labels that you can download into this machine and then print directly from the machine. We had a 2.5-hour call yesterday with Mr. Brad Johnson, who is our Canadian counterpart. And then Ian. I'm not going to mention Ian's last name, but it was a great call. We're actually going to help him develop some custom apps to put on iPrint and Label, to where his guys out in the field essentially just have to fill in some information on these apps and then hit the print button. So that's one of the things we're looking into. But as you can see, I've got a plethora of different apps on here, different templates on here, whether it be solar. And again, the nice thing about this is that being a Wi-Fi machine, now you can, by the way, you can store these templates inside the PT-E550W. You got space for 99 different templates, but I tell you, it sure is a hell of a lot easier just to use this and print directly from here. So you can get a ton of apps on here, have your smart device, either Android or iOS, connected to the machine. And by the way, for those Android users out there, Android users, all right? Same setup. Right? You just go into your Wi-Fi. You select the BR PT-E550. You go through the same process that I did before. So that really, in a nutshell, is kind of the setup of the PT-E550. If you need more information on that, we got a ton of videos out there on how this thing actually operates as far as patch panels and faceplates and downloading a database into this thing. Oh, there's one other option I wanted to discuss real quick. One other app. And that app is iLink and Label. All right. And so let me show you what that is. We have a partnership with Fluke, thus this up here. All right. With Fluke Versive. And I hope I'm still sharing the screen. It looks like I am. So one of the other apps that you can use is called Brother iLink and Label. And the beautiful thing about this is that if you have a database, all right, an Excel spreadsheet, you're going to have to use that for certifying and testing anyway. So why not utilize the same database to do your labeling? You know, in the old days, it was, manually when I did it on the old DSP series. But now everything's automated. So the whole idea behind the Fluke Versive and even the Brother PT-E550W is that you put this database up on the cloud, and you want to dump the database in the machine. So that way you're working from the database. Hey, you can still do the onesie twosies. And on previous episodes, I show you how to serialize and I show you how to use the patch panel ruler. But for me, all right, a former contractor, this would have been nice years ago, all right, when I was doing ABAM and IBM Type 1 and 2 tin cans with a string. That's how wire wrap. That's how far I go back. But it would have been nice to have a database so that way you're pulling from that database and then you're printing from that database. So that way you're not making fat fingers. So one of the easiest ways to do it, and a lot of people use Fluke out there, I get it. If you're not using Fluke and you're using Fluke's competitors out there, contact me. I'll show you how to do it. It's real simple, right? But this is an app that Brother developed specifically for the Fluke Versive. And what you can do is you can go in and you can download different projects, all right? As you can see, I've got a bunch of different projects in here. Once I click on that, I can download that, and then I can connect this to the machine and essentially dump this database inside the machine. So the whole idea of this is that when you're using Linkware Live, and I'm going to stop my sharing because I'm done with that, but when you're using Linkware Live to dump your database up on there, you're one and done. There is a app that Fluke uses for the Versive that you're going to dump that into the Versive. But again, Brother has its own app that the iLincoln label that goes up into the same account. If you need help with that, reach out. I got a lot of questions all the time from folks using the Versives. And again, it is only on the Versives. All right. What else? So 10:26, we got 4 minutes left. That's really it. All right. Go to brothermobilesolutions.com. All right. There's a lot of information on there. If you need a couple of Bixby CECs at the very top underneath the different types of verticals, go down to the Datacom or electrical. If you scroll down about halfway, you're going to see our ANSI TIA 606A train. It's A. I told you, I go way back. 606C. All right, you're going to see that. It's a little over an hour. You got to listen to this boring voice, but you get a couple of CECs. Secondly, the firmware upgrade. For those who have the PT-E550W, I highly recommend upgrading the firmware. It is a 5-minute process. If you need help with that, reach out. I'm always here. Some exciting episodes coming up. So next week, as I already mentioned, we've got Mr. Blake Ermos with Low Voltage Nation coming on, and he's going to give his perspectives from the contractor level and kind of give us updates on in the industry and what's happening. It doesn't have to be specifically labeling, but anyway, that should be a good one. On December 3rd, I'm going to go to town on this thing. All right, I'm going to get out the old power tools and I'm going to have fun with the tapes. And so I'm going to do a bunch of bumping and grinding on these tapes, and just to show you how tough these things are. All right, to basically back up my BS. Ooh, I almost said it. December 17th, water resistance, kind of the under the sea. That's going to be a good one. We got a power washer involved. We've got fish tanks involved. We got all sorts of stuff involved. And again, the whole idea behind that is to show you the resiliency of the tape itself. So there's a whole bunch of labelizing going to be going on in the next couple of episodes. If you have any suggestions on episodes, reach out to me. If you want to see past episodes, go to brothermobilesolutions.com. They should all be there. So again, it's 10:29. I appreciate your half an hour this morning. I really do. I always do. Thank you very much for those who continuously watch these things and watch me make a fool out of myself. For whatever reason you come back, I sincerely appreciate that. As far as how to contact us out in the field, so I am in Carlsbad, California. It's getting a little cold out there, actually. I think it's going to be in the 70s today. But we'll weather the storm. And so I know it's a little cold other places, but, not bad today. I cover everything west of the Mississippi. All right. But it doesn't matter where you are. It really doesn't matter where you are. If you have any questions, reach out to myself or one of my counterparts. I've got Mr. Jamie Brook over in Virginia Beach, Mr. Dan Cobb handles, he's out of Wisconsin. We've got Mr. Bruce Page, Mr. Rob Dawkins, and our glorious leader, Mr. Craig Robinson, who I've had the pleasure of knowing for, I think it's 20 years now, Craig. He hails out of Bradenton, Florida. I guess that's next to Sarasota. But anyway, if you need anything, please reach out to us. We're all about labeling. We're all about labelization. Anything that you can think of that needs a label, reach out to me. Reach out to my team members, and we will help. Or if you need some bad advice, hey, I'm the master at that. With that being said, I'm checking out for today. Have yourself a great week, and hopefully we'll see you back on November 19th. Thank you very much.